Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us this truth. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect, scattered abroad around the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon the Great. All right, I want to do a continued video going into the exposure of Esau Edom. His days are determined. He's losing his power grip right as I'm doing this video, as I'm speaking. Let's go straight into the point. This is Job chapter 14 and verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. And that's going into Esau's Edom spirit. All right. Let me give a precept right quick. It's Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All right. And he's not upright in him. I'm talking about Esau Edom. All right. Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, and that's how I was going into my previous video, how Esau Edom, runs and controls the whole planet Earth. All right, because this is his time of rulership. But at the end of the day, the days are determined, and the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai set up bounds that he cannot pass. All right, and shameful spewing is being spewed upon Esau's glory. How they once gotten this country, how they gotten lands, resources. Now it's being known. All right, like I said, the veil is lifted up from off of the people. Now they're seeing the true nature and the true identity of the Edomites, which are the so-called Caucasian white race. All right, so the Lord's in control over all nations and peoples, but he's losing his power seat right now, man. All right, he's losing his power. So let's go back to Job 14, verse 5. Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. And that's Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we know and understand that the Lord controls all things, yea, even the wicked, for the day of the Lord's wrath. And I believe that's Proverbs 16 and 4. Let me make sure. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, for bad times. All right, and the wicked is the sword of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so he can do whatever. All right, going also back into Ezekiel, the 21st chapter, verse 9 on down to 11. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast them down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. That's Esau Edom, because he received the blessing of the sword during the time of Genesis, the 27th chapter. All right, let's go back to Job and Salakia. That I'm, kind of making haste because I'm near the plantation, or walking to the plantation. So this be my in transit video. And like I said, continuing on with, preaching the downfall of our captivity and preaching the kingdom of heaven. All right, because ultimately that's what we want. That's what we need as a people. We don't need reparations. We don't need to be side by side with these devils. We need to be ruling and having these heathens under subjection, because these heathens were never meant to rule, only for the downfall and the destruction of our people. Okay, but now our captivity is up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Lamentations 4 and 21 on down to 22, and 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and that word world goes into I think aeon or eon. All right, going into an age, a rulership, a kingdom. And this is the rulership and the age and the kingdom of Esau Edom. All right, that's just what it is, whether you people want to believe it or not. You know, Job chapter 20, verse 5. Seeing the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, because the Lord has set bounds that he cannot pass. So that's why their rulership, even though it seems, you know, and you know, in a fleshly sense, you know, Esau Edom has been ruling for quite some time. All right, and even going back to, I believe, I think May 1st or July 4th, but going into the year 1776, they've been wanting to establish their new world order ever since back then. But it wasn't their time yet. All right, that man of sin hasn't been revealed during that time, because they was just, you know, ultimately, you know, getting into power, taking over. All right, a few years prior, they done took over the land from amongst the 10 tribes, the Northern Kingdom. All right, and like I say, history tells itself. All you got to do is look up the history of the so-called Caucasian race, the white race, the Europeans. All right, so on and so forth, man. They got a disgusting history, and that's part of that shameful spewing, you know, being covered on thy glory. And that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is pulling back the veils from off of these nations to really witness and see the bullshit that these people, the nation of Edom, was really about. So I'm gonna look up that word expose and get precepts on that. All right. Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47:1, and this Babylon is America. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." All right, no more of this place is going to be in authority and power. All right, because according to Micah 2:1 and verse 2, we understand, you know, when wicked individuals are in power, they take advantage and abuse their authorities. All right, speaking to the Edomites, okay, how they manage the earth is piss poor. All right, so no more is there going to be a throne upon Babylon the Great, especially mainly upon Esau Edom, because they established Babylon the Great, man, through their previous empires. Verse 2, "Take the mill and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man." All right, and the Lord is about to, he's about to come down with that great wrath. Verse 2 in the NLT, "Take heavy millstones and grind flour, remove your vial and strip off your robe, expose yourself to public view. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity." All right, and that, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to come back with great wrath and destruction, man. All right. Nahum, the 3rd chapter, goes into the time of Nineveh, but it's also parabolic or twofold going into the times that we're living in now via Babylon the Great. All right. And you can, you know, I'm going to read it in the NLT and tell me this not, you know, the ways of America. Nahum 3:1. What sorrow awaits Nineveh, the city of murders and lies? All right, Esau, Edom being the forger of lie. Job 13 verse 4, Psalms 58 and 3. All right, they estranged from the womb, speaking lies. She is crammed with wealth and is never without victims. All right, they fill their face with cities. All right, they always lurking upon the poor, the Israelites. And they also got an iron grip on the other heathen nations, man. All right. Verse 4. All this because Nineveh, the beautiful and faithless city, mistress of deadly charms, enticed the nations with her beauty. She taught them all her magic, enchanting people everywhere. Going back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, verse 5, man. All right, through their whoredom and their witchcraft, they had a veil upon the nations, but now we're entering into the times that veil is being uncovered. Those same nations that was once in darkness and blindness are now preparing for war, to shoot arrows on her. Going back to Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 51. Verse 5, I am your enemy, says the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of heaven's army, and now I will lift up your skirts and show all the earth your nakedness and shame. I will cover you with filth and show the world how vile you really are. And that's the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, exposing this devil. And that's Esau, Edom all the way. And that's also Babylon the Great. Especially dealing with these tariff wars, all right, because if this continues to go on, the American people are going to suffer, all right, more than the so-called Chinese people, man. So with that, I'm going to close out. Kahalayam la Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Peace, love, and blessings to the, the elect scattered abroad around the four corners of earth, mainly in Babylon the Great. And of course, as always, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Till next time, I say shalom.